to speak up about sexual and domestic violence as much as we're afraid to speak out on anything that really demonstrates an interest in the experience of women. Because then men will look at us with questioning our manhood, because it's something that's not common for men to do. So it could be domestic violence, it could be sexual violence, it could be the dirty joke told about a woman at the water cooler. You know, these are all examples of things that we as men are socialized not to speak out against, because speaking out against it lends to this belief that we have this vested interest in women, which then begins to question our manhood. As sick as it sounds, that's the reality we've been conditioned, you know, to run with. We use a man box as an example of the collective socialization of men. It's a box that pretty much holds us hostage to the rules and norms of how we define manhood. There's some wonderful things about being a man. There's some twisted stuff in there too. The men are socialized collectively to have less value in women. They're socialized collectively to view women as property and to view women as objects. We believe those three are a formula that then equals men's violence against women. In regards to getting out of the box, we hold each other accountable to staying in the box. If I try to get out of the box, I'm questioned, I'm teased, I'm ridiculed, those kind of things that keep us in the box. You know, we're trying to teach men that the real man is the man that stands outside the box. That's where we find real men. Well-meaning men are just good guys. Everyday cats, righteous guys, guys trying to do the right thing, holding it down. Nothing, nothing fantastic or, off the charts. Just everyday guys just trying to do the right thing. That's the large majority of men. That's the large. We mean well, and we're really not aware a lot of times when we're doing wrong or doing harm, and it needs to really be brought to our attention, brought to light, and named for us. What's going on. Like I said, we're on remote control. I have not put a lot of investment in men who we define as the bad guys, because there's a smaller amount of men. So I put most of my investment in the larger majority of men who really have the power to change. I don't find a lot of struggle with men when you bring it to them, with love. Men own this. They can say this is true. It's very hard to deny our behavior, and it's very hard not to make the link to see how it then lends to a culture of violence. And then when you realize that 99% of all the violence women experience is at the hands of men, I mean, just do the math. It's not difficult for men to see that. When men are quiet about men's violence against women, that supports the action. If I don't speak out about what another man is doing, if I don't check him, if I don't hold him accountable, then I'm technically supporting his behavior. So in that respect, we say silence is affirming. When we move away from child predators or whatnot who normally operate by themselves in silence, we look at domestic violence where other men know that he's battering her, or that he has potential because he's rude and he's crude, or if we look at, say, sexual violence on a college campus, a lot of other young men may know what his intentions are, what his plan is, and we don't step up and challenge. That's the part that's very much a man's responsibility. My daughter goes to college, I needed a pen. There's going to be one or two knuckleheads in the crowd, but can I depend on the other 7 or 8 boys to deal with him, or is she on her own? Is she on her own? Is she, a woman in college right now today, her freshman year in college, she's known as fresh meat, and there are going to be boys who are going to be predators. Can I depend on the other boys who are not predators, but can I depend on them to deal with him? For the most part right now, I can't. Men's violence against women won't end until men become part of the solution. And we can continue to respond to the violence, and we're doing a fairly decent job at that. We can continue to react to the violence. But that's not what we're in it for in the end. In the end, we're in it to end the violence. And men have to be part of that solution. Because men are the perpetrators. Men are the dominating culture in our society, unfortunately. They're the large perpetrators. Men listen to men. Right? Men have to engage men in order to make this thing happen.